rubbish about you on the internet. Never told anyone anything bad, cause that stuff's embarrassing. You were my everything, and all that you did was make me freaking sad. So don't waste the time. Okay, so I don't know if we talked about it here, but I'm a big Billy fan, big Billy fan. So I'm so sorry you had to see that. I'm probably not gonna edit it out because why not? Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dominique Davis, also known as Brown and Bendy. And here on this channel, we practice flexibility of the mind, the body, and the spirit. Also introducing my open door because my family isn't here. So there's life outside of this bedroom. Okay, so I didn't even look over my outline before I started to record, but I have faith that this will be an aligned video. We're gonna get it there. Before we talk about, actually, no, I'm gonna give you a little sprinkle of what we're talking about. What we're talking about today is how our entire reality is a projection of our own beliefs. And we hear this a lot in the law of attraction community, a lot of everybody is you pushed out and everything you experience is a projection of everything you have going on in here. We hear that a lot, but I wanna break that down today so that we can move forward being intentional about what we choose to believe, so we can be more intentional about what we are projecting, so we know what we're putting out, so we know what we're communicating that we want back. But before we talk about that, I have two books. I have a scripting journal, which is this right here, my little baby, and then my second little baby, my I Am Love affirmation book. If you would like to enter to win both of these books in March's giveaway. If you've been watching the last few videos, you know what's up. In March's giveaway, thanks for everyone in the comments who helped me with that. If you would like to enter to win both of these books in March's giveaway, all you gotta do is comment down below. I pick a winner from anyone who has engaged with the channel. So all you gotta do is communicate. Tell me what you think about the video. Tell me if you align with the video, if you disagree with the video, if you have an experience that really illustrates the point of the video, let me know. Also, if you have a manifestation story, please make sure that you share that. Tomorrow will be Fulfilled Fridays, where I share a couple of your manifestation stories with the collective so that we can encourage each other and grow together and keep this manifestation train going, keep the momentum going. You never know how your story can inspire the next person. So if you've manifested something, please share it so that we can get it out to the masses. Okay, so I originally titled this video in my notes, "That's an interesting projection you're putting on there," because that's really all that life is. Whenever anything happens to us, our belief system determines how we digest whatever just happened. And depending on the biases within our belief system, that's going to determine the biases in what we are viewing and how we are determining the importance, the significance of the situation. So first and foremost, I have a lot of notes because this is kind of a complex subject matter for me to explain. So I really just want to make sure I stay on the straight and narrow. So I do have a lot of notes. So your belief system lays the template for your experiences. And the example I wrote down was that, let's say you're at a coffee shop and you're waiting for like 10 minutes for your coffee. I know that's really nothing, but I think 10 minutes is a lot for some people. So let's say you're waiting 15 minutes for your coffee and the person comes up, they know that it's your coffee, the barista puts it down in front of you and walks away, right? So different people, depending on their belief system, are going to digest that scenario in different ways. So the first person that I want to talk about is, like, let's say somebody who was a barista in their past, right? And they came to get a cup of coffee and this person sat down the coffee in front of them and walked away. The person who used to be a barista knows exactly what's going on behind that door, knows exactly what's going on behind that counter. And because they have had experiences where they know exactly what's going on, this person's behavior isn't like this foreign weird thing. The person who used to be a barista may say, "Oh, it must be a hard day in the kitchen, you know, or a hard day behind the door. I don't know what goes on behind the doors at coffee shops, but it must be a hard day behind the door. Or, there are only 3 people in here. There's no reason they had to announce my name when there's only 3 people in here. Like, it's not that deep. That might be how the barista, the one who was a barista in the past, might digest that situation. Let's say that you are just a kind person in general. You were raised by kind parents. You have had a community of kind people all around you. Kindness is your lifestyle. That same barista may have slammed that coffee cup in front of you. And because you're a kind person, you may notice it. Like, you might notice the interesting level of difference in energy. But I find that kinder people are usually so understanding about everything that when someone does something that could offend them, it doesn't penetrate that layer of life is good, and that's the type of person I'm trying to be. So if that same person slams that coffee cup in front of you, if you are a kinder person, it's very possible that you have the mindset of someone else's actions do not have anything to do with me. So you take the coffee and you go. And then the last person I want to talk about is a person who is more entitled to the action of others. A person who is more entitled to the action of others could become so insulted by that barista slamming down the coffee cup to the point where they say, hey, I need to talk to your manager. I've been waiting here for 15 minutes. You did not say my name. You did not announce that this coffee was for me. How did I know this coffee was going to be for me? I waited here for 15 minutes. You didn't even smile. You didn't even look me in my eyes. This is horrible customer service. Right? So a person who's more entitled can see the situation from that perspective. So that's just what I want to explain first and foremost, is that everything that happens in the world, in the joint collective, are situations that without emotion are the same exact situation for everyone. But when we implement the emotion and the emotions from our past into the situations that we're experiencing, that starts to color in how we digest the situation that just happened. That situation that I just explained, it was the same exact situation for all 3 people, but it was different for all 3 people because their perceptions are different. So now let's bring the law of attraction into it. Based on the feelings that we're holding in our bodies, based on our belief system and our perceptions of life, that's going to determine what we end up attracting to us, because we're always manifesting. We are always pulling things into our reality, whether we're intentional about it or not. And what determines what we pull into our reality is our belief system. And more importantly, our emotions behind our belief system. So the second thing I want to talk about is source is orchestrating the events. Everything that we experience, like paninis, I'm not going to say it because I don't know what YouTube got going on with that word, but things with paninis and things with certain doctor's visits and shots and all types of stuff like that. Everything that happened that we see on TV or that we see in our communities, that same exact thing happens to all the people, but all the people digest that thing in a different way. But what's important to understand is that source is the one orchestrating the events. Let's take the victim mentality out of it. We do not want to be those people that when something happens, all we can do is think about what it means for us. Like, he slammed my coffee cup down too hard and now my feelings are hurt. And I'm going to take this into my day and hurt more people's feelings. Like, you don't want to be that person. So it's really important to remember that when something happens, our emotions aren't automatically embedded into the event, okay? That can be a conscious part of the situation. When an event happens, being mindful and aware of what comes up and the ways that we are first, what's the word I'm looking for? The first instinct. What is your first instinct when it comes to reacting to that situation? So source is orchestrating the events, but our brain determines the projection. So another example I have is, let's say that you do not have a high income right now in this moment. That could change overnight. It's up to you, Shouty. But let's say right now you do not have a high income at this moment, and you find out that you are responsible for a huge bill. Now, I don't know how many of you guys are new. I feel like I have to keep reminding you guys because I never want you guys to feel like I'm coming from a place where anybody in my family has money. Like, I have been lucky and like come upon money. Like, No. If you are new, 4 years ago, me, my husband, and my baby lived in a 2-bedroom apartment that was paid for by my mother, and we were not paying rent because we could not afford it. We had just gotten evicted from a place. So, okay, I know about not making a lot of income and having huge bills still come your way, even though you do not know how you're going to pay them. So just want to put that out there. So let's say you're coming from a low income and you are responsible for a huge bill. There are different perceptions that we can think of when this happens, when you get that envelope with that big red lettering on it that says immediate notice, right? Like, you need to open this. And what I want to illuminate is when you get that envelope, that's when the whole process of the projection starts. Whenever someone tells us something that introduces a scenario to us, whenever we see something on TV that introduces a scenario to us, that is the opportunity to start to steer the ship. That's when the projection starts, right? So if we have this, I'm going to start with the positive. So let's say that a person has in their belief system, God handles everything. Source handles everything. I am just here to enjoy life and learn how to manifest based off of the vibes. Like, let's say that that's a person's mindset. When they get this bill, if that's their belief system is going to be, I will pay what I can and I will allow God to handle the rest. And it will be a very consistent, even energetic vibrational level. It will not become so controlled by fear and the unknown that the person starts to lose themselves and see scarcity in everywhere they look. Because how, let's be real, how when you do not have a lot of money and then you find out you're responsible to pay something, and then all of a sudden, let's say you have $700 and you have a bill for $450. Sometimes our brain can go to the place where, like, the rest of the money's already gone. It don't matter that I have a little bit more. I have to spend this on a bill and the rest is just going to be chump change. You know how like that can be? You start to see scarcity everywhere just because you have to pay one big bill and you're not happy with the money that you're making overall. So it's a mindset. And when something happens that triggers that mindset, we start to project that into every scenario that we have. For example, so let's say you have this big bill, you just paid it, and you have like, I'm so bad at math. Like, let's say 250 left. Yeah, let's just say 250 left. And Mom, I'm so sorry. So you have 250 left and somebody calls you and they're like, hey, you want to go out to dinner? So let's say that you are a person who is very scarce and that same thing happens. You pay that bill, you have 250 left and you're stressed, right? So someone calls and asks you to dinner and you just say, why would I want to go to dinner? I do not want to go to dinner right now. Why are you even calling to ask me that? I'll let you know when I can go to dinner, right? You just blow up on this person for no reason at all. And then you walk around your house mad. Like, how can that person even call? Was she even going to pay for it? Was she going to pay for the dinner? Why is she inviting me to this place if she's not going to pay for it? You're walking around mad that someone had the nerve to want to spend time with you. Oh my God. So I make these scenarios up and like sometimes I just be laughing because humans are so funny. We are hilarious. So at that point, then we can look at the projection of, okay, so you are in a place where you're not happy with your finances and you just projected that onto the friend that called you, right? And the reason that I want to talk about this is because, guys, projection is very, very sneaky. Very convincing. And I'm glad I made that example because that same person who's like, how dare that person invite me out? It's the end of the month. Everybody know that finances get tight at the end of the month. Why is she calling and inviting me out at the end of the month? Right? Our projections can be so sneaky that we will just want to be right so bad that we will make up our minds about what people mean when they say things and when they do things. And I don't care if you're psychic. I don't care if you're clairvoyant. I don't care if you get the vibes. I don't care about any of that. And that's something on my own spiritual journey that I'm working on. I do not care. You cannot assume what another person means. You cannot predict what another person means. You cannot know exactly what they are trying to say or illustrate to you without asking them their perspective. You can't. You can't. And that is the reason why we are so disconnected as a people, because we just go around assuming and projecting what everybody believes. So That's that. So, and when you have that idea that, you know, you have to pay this bill, you don't have a lot of money, you start to project this mindset of, or your belief system says, I don't have it, I got to make it happen, right? Like, I don't have the money to pay this bill. God's not involved with this process. First of all, God and source are just like, okay, I'm here, but okay, I'm here if you want me to help, but you obviously don't want me to help. That's not, God's not a part of this process. In this process, we have I got to make it happen. I don't have the money for it. So I got to get the money. I got to pick up more shifts at work, and I got to get another job, and I got to ask this, and this person for it. I got to hustle. I got to make it happen. That's the mindset, right? So let's say we do take on that mindset. That means that when that person goes into the world, because they're looking for the money for this bill, they're projecting that onto every situation. Oh my God. Oh my God. I cannot stand, I've been talking about a lot of the types of people I can't stand lately. I feel like we're there. I feel like we're friends. We can talk about it. I cannot stand an opportunist. I was never an opportunist. And like, I used to be a lot of things, but I was never an opportunist. Hanging out with someone or being around someone for what they can do for you or what they could get from you. Oh my gosh, that like energetic currency is real, and I will not spend it on those types of people. But that's an example. The types of people who feel like they got to make it happen, they got to hustle, they got to find a way to get the bag no matter what. Those are the types of people who are opportunists, right? They are projecting onto every situation, every person, a money-making opportunity. And it's like, do you, boo? That's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay, so I feel like I've been talking forever, and I have one more point. How to fix this. So basically, you have to intentionally choose what you want to believe. And the way that we do this is by, I know a lot of times I say scripting is the answer to it all, and scripting is the answer to it all if we're going to be real. But before we script and talk about what we want to believe, for me, it was easier to identify when I was starting to feel icky, when my vibration was starting to go down, and then addressing, what am I thinking that is mucking up my mood right now? Like, what's going on in my head? And what my notes say is identifying that a belief doesn't serve you for being aware of what it feels like. And all I'm asking for is awareness. I'm not asking you to be able to get in front of 200 people and recite a dissertation about what a certain emotion feels like. I'm just saying awareness. Know in your body, like, oh, this is when my vibration starts going down. I'm starting to get congested. I apologize. And then we want to learn how to find the difference between feeling uncomfortable versus feeling bad, our vibration going down. Because I'm so sorry, I'm so congested. Excuse me. Unedited videos, man. So gross. Okay, so learning to find the difference between being uncomfortable versus feeling bad. So a lot of times when we're growing, when we're expanding, like let's say we're at that coffee shop and we're pissed off that we've been waiting so long and that barista slams the coffee cup down and we want to get pissed. But we remembered we watched Brown and Bendy and we were like, no, because all I'm doing is spreading anger and frustration. I'm not going to take my frustration out on this barista. I'm going to handle it within myself. So that barista slams that coffee cup down and you look at him and he looks at you and you just let him walk away. Yeah, let him walk away. So that's an example of feeling uncomfortable, not throwing hands with somebody verbally is a good thing, right? But when we are so used to getting into conflict or saying how we feel when we're upset and all that stuff, when we're so used to that, the moment we start to take accountability and not project it outwards, it's going to feel uncomfortable. So that's an example of when you grow, it's going to feel uncomfortable. But like, let's say that you take the time that day and that barista sets that cup down and you just start going off. Like, no wonder you have this job. No wonder you're out on your feet 9 hours a day, not doing anything for anyone but making some coffee. Like, let's just say you go off on this poor soul, right? Are you going to feel good? When you leave, are you going to feel good? It's so funny. I was talking to a friend about this the other day, and we were talking about the difference between feeling like we got our own justice, but how that still doesn't feel good, right? We don't need to fight in these streets for validation, okay? It's not necessary. understanding when your thoughts and when your actions feel good, feel peaceful. And a cheat code to good is just love. Is it rooted in love? Okay. And all of that to say, what we're putting out is what we're getting back. What we're putting out is what we're getting back. Okay, so you want to manifest the life of your dreams. You want to manifest the love life of your dreams, the bank account of your dreams, the car of your dreams, or just the peace of your dreams. And that's the real big manifestation that we should all be really, really thriving and working for, is the manifestation of peace, right? But I feel like you have to be in a certain place on your journey to really want that, because there's a lot of stuff you got to give up if you really want that. But the way you are choosing to project the situation is going to be what you get back. That same person who wants to cuss that barista out can choose to think, maybe they're having a hard day. I've had a hard day before. There's no reason for me to be in this emotional place right now. Like, that's a choice. It's all a choice. It's all a choice. So yes, forever long video. I apologize. I hope that you like it. We had to get into it. I had to explain it. Yeah. I love you so much. I'm gonna do a love affirmation. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time. In through the nose, out through the mouth. I'm going to choose one affirmation. I'm going to say it a couple times. You can repeat it with me, or you can just sit and listen to me repeat it while maintaining a high vibration. I am irreplaceable. I am irreplaceable. I am irreplaceable. I am irreplaceable. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. This world would not be the same without you. That's why you're here. There are no mistakes. I love you so much. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up so other people on the platform know that it's valuable and that they should watch it. Also, if you would like me to expand on anything that I've talked about today, let me know down in the comments and I'd be happy to. Last but not least, if you would like me to, or if you would like to be notified when I come out with a new video, just make sure that you click the subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you may be notified and so that you can become a reality bender yourself and join the Bendy bunch, because it's lit here. I love you so much and I will see you next time. Bye.